Rick, thanks. Our coverage continues now from the Final Four in Indianapolis. Very pleased to be joined by a familiar face for Badger fans, Athletic Director Barry Alvarez. And Barry, this is the second straight year I've had the opportunity to see the basketball team in the Final Four. When you think back to when you arrived at Wisconsin as a football coach and how down, honestly, the entire athletic program was, certainly in the revenue sports, and now you see the incredible success football has had, you see a second straight Final Four. What goes through your mind?
Well, I always reminisce in how far we've come. Why are we here? What are the things that we did to accomplish this? And quite frankly, in the past 20 years, we've been the most consistent and have been to more basketball tournaments, NCAA tournaments, and bowl games than anyone in the country. And it takes a lot, and a lot of people have to take care of their responsibilities. Everybody that touches all the programs, the athletic department, athletes, coaches, it takes a lot to do that. And I keep reminding our alums, I'm going to go to a function tonight, and I'll remind them again, don't take it for granted. Winning's hard.
Right.
You know, what did you see to make the program from where you took it to where it is today? What did you see that gave you the vision to what we're witnessing now?
Well, you know, the thing that I saw in Wisconsin was one Division I football program, a great university, a great city, and passion for athletics. It just wasn't run right.
Okay.
You know, I figured if you go in and you run it right, you devise a plan. In football, I took a look. It's not hard to figure out. We're not going to get a lot of speed out of the state of Wisconsin.
Right.
But we can get big guys. So you start your football program with the line.
Yep.
And the physical type of play, and you go out and you find your backs. Every once in a while, a Melvin Gordon will come out of town or a Michael Bennett
Right.
will come out of the state. But many times you have to leave to get some of your other backs. So we had a plan. It's been consistent. We've stayed with that plan because it's sound. I think, you know, you go back to Stu Jackson really got us rolling. Mm-hmm. Stu took us to the first tournament,
Yep.
which really broke the ice. It had been a number of years before we went in tournaments. Dick Bennett took it. Dick had a little different plan, but it was sound, and Dick did things his way and got us to the Final Four, and then Bo took it to another level. And it's Bo's plan. Bo's is much like the football plan. He has a system that he's going to run. He isn't going to change that system, and he'll go out and find players that fit in his system.
And how important, when I think about Wisconsin, continuity, consistency, in the world of win now and not look towards the future, we've got to win now. If it doesn't happen, let's replace a coach. You've been able to stick with both. How important is that? I don't think people really understand having that consistency year in and year out in the program. It means something.
It means a lot. People know what to expect. Players know what to expect. It saves you a lot of money. Think
The
about
buyouts, right?
You talk about the cost of college athletics. You start buying coaches out, and then moving families in, and that whole faction is very expensive. When you can keep your people together and they're good, it's very important.
Right.
You talk about Bo and his consistency and kind of this is the way that we do it. Philosophically, how much do the two of you talk about this is the approach? Do you get into kind of the X's and O's with him at all?
I don't. I know his plan. I know his plan. I saw it work at Platteville. I saw it work at UWM. You know, he handed Bruce Pearl a Sweet 16 team. And I saw from the minute he got there how he was going to operate his program. And I told him, I know he's going to run it the right way. I'm not going to bother Bo. If he has any problems, any issues, he'll come and see me. And he does occasionally. But it's not about basketball. He can ask me about football, not basketball.
So I'm gonna put you in the coach's position. Since recently you jumped back in and helped your team. If you were talking to this team before they go up against Kentucky, what are you telling them tomorrow night?
Well, you know, first of all, don't make the game bigger than what it is. It's still a game. I'm not going to ask you to play as superhumans. I want you to play your game. I want you to play a good game. I expect you to play well on a big stage. And play like you did that second half last week. That would really help.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And how big would it be for the Big Ten? Wishful thinking, of course. Wisconsin, Michigan State in the championship game. What does that? What would that mean to the Big Ten?
Well, it started in football. Football was beaten up for the last few years.
Right.
Basketball, I always say, it goes in cycles. Basketball, same way a few years ago, and then all of a sudden everyone realized and recognized that the Big Ten was the best conference in the country. Football was beaten up until this year, and where we won 3 big bowl games.
Right.
Beat the Southeast Conference once, and Ohio State wins the semis and then wins the national championship. So the monkey's off. The football's back. Jim Delaney's very proud. We're all very proud of that.
Sure.
Now to have 2 in the Final Four is special.
Right.
If somehow we can get both of them in the finals, that speaks volumes,
Yes.
man. We'll be strutting our stuff pretty good if that happens.
Hall of Fame football coach Barry Alvarez, occasional stand-in football coach these days as well. Hopefully not again for a while, right?
I'm finished.
And of course, the Wisconsin athletic director. Barry, thanks as always for your time. Really
Absolutely,
appreciate
guys.
it. Hope it's a great weekend for Wisconsin in the Big Ten.
Very good. Thanks for having me on.
Let's go back to Chicago.